Alright, it just occurred to me that I left off the segment about bullish percent indexes, so I'm going to go ahead and just buzz through those real quick for the sake of people following along day to day. So you come to stockcharts.com right there, and you go here. There's all sorts of charts you can look at here, folks. I just leave it up there like that and then type in bullish, because all the bullish percent indexes have the word bullish in them, so it gives us all of these. And you actually have all these different chart options on the left, where if you wanted to, instead of I hit the point and figure, that's what this is, all the time when I'm looking at these. But if you wanted to and it does anything for you, you can look at it like this. That's just a mess, if you ask me. This is another way of looking at it. These crossovers are probably worth looking at, but again, I don't do it that way because, one, I've read up a lot on point and figure charting, and so I understand it pretty well. But anyways, I use the point and figure charts, and so just to explain again what a bullish percent index is, it's literally, so there's 30 stocks. Let's go back to the Dow because it's easy. There's 30 stocks in the Dow, and so 30 of them is 100%. 15 of them is 50%. So we're looking here, 63.33% of stocks in the Dow, that's the number over here on the right, are on a point and figure buy signal, which just means 63% of them are showing a buy signal. That means 63% of them are showing bullishness. So the rest of them are not showing bullishness. Doesn't necessarily mean they're giantly bearish, it just means they're not on a point and figure buy signal. This is just a measure of buying versus selling in the markets. So it's an easy one to look at because it's 30, but then when you go, and so this one didn't move on Friday. I think this will have Friday's move on it because it'll be the last one. The NYA is something to the tune of 7,000 or 8,000 stocks, I believe. So 55% of them are on a bullish buy signal. And a point and figure buy signal, and we've explained this before, the current column of X's exceeds the previous column of X's. And so then you read these charts sort of from left to right, but the most recent column is the last one here on the right, whether it's O's or X's. And this one's on X's, so it actually hit a point and figure buy signal this last week when this new column of X's exceeded the previous column of X's to the upside at the level of 52. And so this one went up by 0.98% on Friday. So almost 1% of the stocks in the NYA moved to a point and figure buy signal. The transports, they took off last week as well, and they're sitting at 80%. 80% of the stocks in the transports are on a point and figure buy signal, and none of them, or no more of them moved on a point and figure buy signal on Friday. So it's a 0% move. The NASDAQ, 1.4% of them moved higher, moved to a point and figure buy signal, and only 49% of the stocks in the NASDAQ are on a point and figure buy signal. Now we are in a column of X's, so we need to exceed the previous column of X's to the upside, and that level is 56 in order for this to get a new point and figure buy signal. It is on a point and figure buy signal because the previous column of X's exceeded the previous one before that without the column of X's or columns of O's doing the same thing to the downside. So we're in an uptrend here, and technically on a point and figure buy signal from February. That's what the 2 means in the 3 columns to the left, or 3 columns back, 2 columns to the left. I need to get a highlighter for this thing so I can show you guys better. Then I go to the S&P 500. So there's 500 stocks. 64% of them are on a point and figure buy signal, and we got a new X on Friday, and that is what a new point and figure buy signal looks like, because the previous column of O's, actually 2 columns of O's back, exceeded to the downside the previous column before it of O's. So that was on a point and figure sell signal until Friday, and now we're on a point and figure buy signal. So there's going to be a lot of people that follow point and figure charts and understand these things better than I do and trade from them. There's actually a lot of places to do that, but anyways, this is a clear indication of potential higher prices and more bullishness in the market. I say potential because nothing is a lock, not in the markets. The markets can do anything they want anytime, and you got to keep that in mind. So you can't just hold your guns just because you think something's going to happen. You have to have evidence. Otherwise, you better be on the right side of the markets. And when the big players move, that's what our indicators are all about, is trying to be on the right side with them. And then I look at the OEX, which is the S&P 100. It didn't move on Friday. These are I'm going to say the biggest stocks in the S&P 500. I'm not sure they're the biggest, but they're the most. I mean, you put them all together, and that basket is built for that. And then the last but not least, and probably one to really take a look at, is the NDX, and this is the NASDAQ 100. So, and it went on a point and figure buy signal a couple days ago, and now we've added an X to the upside. So it went up by 1.41%, and we're up above 70 level. The 70 level is considered overbought territory. So from 70 to, you can see on this chart, all the way back up to like 90, you start looking for it to roll over. And when it rolls over, it's typically, I mean, even though if you look halfway back on this chart, there's a lot of back and forth back last year before it really rolled over, and the market just sank after that. So I hope that helps. Sorry I left it off, and take care, guys. Have a great weekend.